everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Like, Share, Follow. And this week I have Madeleine Conlan, who is a marketing assistant and community engagement at Promotion Products. So, Maddie, how you going?
I'm good. How are you, Karen?
Right, it's so good to see you again. And so it's been we went through a lot. You did the social media minor, didn't you? And
Yes, yes.
yeah.
I was missing
So
one class to get the major.
oh, yeah. So I'm so glad that you actually did that. And when you're at USC, we also went on a trip to Mumbai on a social media marketing study tour. So
Yeah.
that was fun. We were just chatting about that. And so that was in your final year. And so you graduated reasonably recently. So when was that? It wasn't last year or the year before?
So my last semester was 2019, and then to graduate in April, and obviously COVID happened, and I
Yeah. So
didn't
that's
have a graduation ceremony.
so you had a
Um,
graduation by mail. So
yes. Thank you, USC, for the little video. I loved it. So yeah, I technically finished in 2019, and I hadn't been working over COVID in this particular area anyway.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's okay. And so what? So now, but now you are working. So what have you done in the between graduating and then where you are now? So and we'll explain more about your job in a sec.
Yep. So when we got back from Mumbai, I was going into my last semester, and I had a lot of like personal life changes. Um, and so I decided like I just wanted to study, not study, sorry, like travel, have some fun, kind of find my feet a little bit again in my own life. Um, and then COVID happened, and thankfully, like I was really lucky that my job at the time didn't end. I was still able to keep working, and I was working as a supervisor in a fast food position, and I was super lucky to continue working because so many people didn't. And then when I was kind of like, okay, ready to move on, I started looking for social media jobs, using all the knowledge that I've gained, and yeah.
And so what is your job involved now? What sort of things do you do?
A lot of content production, and I'm really fortunate that I'm actually going to work with the team at Promotion Products to kind of get them all like on LinkedIn and get them working on LinkedIn to find leads, which is really exciting. I all those things that we did at uni, audits, creating content, just finding better ways of using social media and what works for the company and what doesn't, and how they can be better and make themselves known on social media. Yeah.
Oh, good. And so what do you think when you went for the job? What do you think set you apart from other graduates?
I definitely think the trip to Mumbai was helpful, and we created these really beautiful booklets while we were there for the not-for-profit groups that we worked with, and I still had my copy of those, so I took them with me to my interviews, as well as when I was doing my PR stuff, we did an event that was surrounded by LinkedIn, and I think all of that experience with LinkedIn and then Mumbai, plus all of the real client work that we do, was really beneficial for my resume, considering I didn't have a job in social media previous to this one.
Yeah.
Definitely helpful.
Yeah, and so just for those people watching, so when we went to Mumbai, what we did is, as a group, there were five students, and we went into a couple of nonprofits there, and this amazing group of students, they did an audit, so they spoke to the people at the organisation, finding out what they wanted to achieve with their social media. Then they went away and analysed what they were doing, and then developed a presentation and a report for them, and then went back and presented it to them. And they did an amazing job. I just stood right back, and they just at the park. It was
A
just
lot of fun.
yeah. But Maddie, you also did an amazing internship at Queensland Police. So
I did do that. Yes, that's pretty cool too. When I told everyone that, they were like, "Can you make us sound like them?" And I was like, "Well, it's a different personality, but yes, I can create a voice for the company as well here." Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
People love that.
they're so good at their social media.
Yeah. They're very funny. that was actually an amazing insight as well as learning all of the things that they do and behind the scenes. Like, yeah,
Yeah, I
pretty
mean,
cool.
what I love about them is that because they are so funny, you pay attention to everything that they say, and so that's what they want. Even when it's a serious thing, they want you to pay attention. And so because
Yeah,
they hold the audience in the palm of their hand, so people just pay attention to whether it is funny or not, and they've done so well.
exactly. Yeah, they've done a really good job in creating that.
Yeah, so I mean, what an experience to actually gain an insight into what exactly how they do that.
Yeah, I was
So
very lucky to do that.
what has been some of the best career advice you've been given?
Probably the best career advice I've been given is from my mum. She, every time I was feeling down about where I was, she would say, Maddie, if this isn't where you want to be, that's okay. This is just a stepping stone. So just reminding myself every day that if I'm not where I want to be, that's okay. There's still lots to learn from it and lots to gain from it. Um, and even if it is transferable skills, like you think, oh, what can I do in fast food that I can bring over? Like you learn a lot, and just not seeing anything as a setback and just seeing it as a stepping stone along the way to help me achieve the final goal. Like, where do I want to be in life? And not seeing anything as a step back or not good enough or anything like that. You're always where you need to be, and you just are going to learn from it and to take those experiences and learn from it. And don't get too down on yourself about not being where you thought you were going to be at 23. That's okay.
Yeah, I mean, just having that patience, and your mum's right. Like it takes time, and you can learn in any situation. So, I mean, one of my first jobs ever was when I was a teenager was at McDonald's, and I tell you, the customer service skills I learned there, they really,
Yeah.
I still draw on those today. So, I
Yes,
don't ask
definitely.
do that
Lots
kind
of
of
patience
upsell
working in
calls,
customer
but,
service.
it's just that attentiveness and and
Yeah.
understanding.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
And so,
Lots of skills to learn.
yeah, you can learn, and I think that's the most important thing, trying to see every situation as a learning experience and trying to gain as much as you can from it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Thanks, Mum.
And speaking of that, so what do you think of some of the important things that you gained from university that really helped you in your current role?
Definitely anything LinkedIn has been super helpful. How to read analytics, how to find analytics. It had been a minute for me to have seen Twitter analytics. I had to re-Google that again. I don't think there's anything that I didn't learn that hasn't been used again. And I've only been at this job for a couple of weeks, so
Yeah. So you seem to have frozen a little bit, so I hope you're still there. Oh, there you are.
I can hear
It's
you.
okay. So on the flip side, has there been anything that you've needed, some knowledge that you've needed in your current role that you didn't learn at university that you wish we'd had included in our courses?
I wish I had like more experience with Photoshop. Like I know that some students choose to use that as part of their social media stuff. Uh, in my mind, I was like,
Oh, well, we just lost Maddie for a second,
which
but she's coming back.
bit
Sorry,
sad about. But
here
I'm
you are.
learning now.
You just jumped out. That's okay. So
Okay.
yeah, Photoshop, you were saying
Yes. Yeah, I wish I pushed myself out of my comfort zone a little bit at university to uh,
that.
do Photoshop.
I use Photoshop every day, like every day. I use other tools like Canva, but I use Photoshop so much. Um,
Yeah,
such a
me
helpful,
too now.
yeah,
It is great. I'm glad I'm learning it now.
yeah. There's some great, there's heaps of resources online at Adobe as well to sort of
Yeah.
help teach that too. Um, and also tell me what social media skill or social media thing or hack or tool or anything of that nature have you sort of learned in the last couple of weeks that you could share with us?
Uh, Pinterest is great if you're selling products. I didn't realize this. A lot of my client work has not been product based. So now that I'm working in a company that sells products and I'm learning so much more about Pinterest, and it's a social media platform, but it's also like a search engine because of the images and people wanting to see that. But it's also like a shopping platform because people are going to Pinterest to buy, apparently, which is that's crazy for me. Like I never thought of Pinterest as anything more than, oh, let's create pretty mood boards. Just because of my not needing to use it. And now I'm actually learning so much about Pinterest and how helpful it can be and how to optimize using Pinterest as a place to sell products. That's been really interesting.
That's the same. I keep hearing that too. I haven't had a lot of experience with Pinterest either, but I keep hearing that the business tools on it are really sophisticated and really helpful. And same with ads and online shopping and all sorts of things. So it's definitely a tool that I want to learn more about as well.
Yeah, I think, I'll be excited to keep using it and see what happens and creating some content for that. Getting everyone buying the products from Pinterest.
Yeah, no, why not? Like, learn as much as you can. Have you thought about even trying maybe TikTok or anything like that?
I don't know if the company is right for TikTok. I'd really have to find a specific angle on what it is the way that we'd sell it on TikTok. But I also don't really know if our audience is quite on TikTok yet.
Okay.
But potentially. I'm not against it.
I'm a fan, that's all.
I know. I'm subscribed to your TikTok, Karen. I see the videos. It's I love TikTok. Sorry?
I said any chance to talk about TikTok and I will. So.
Oh, yeah. Okay. It's very good.
And so tell me also, what advice would you give to, say, emerging professionals, social media students, people who are just starting out? What advice could you give to them?
Take every single opportunity that you can. Just say yes to everything, even if you feel like you're not capable, even if you feel like it's out of your comfort zone. Just do it, because I wish that I did. I wish I said yes to more things, and I know that's probably, like, you can say whatever, maybe you went to India, but I wish I said yes to more things and took advantage of those opportunities to learn and grow as much as I could have. And it hasn't been until recently where I'm like, I'm going to take advantage of everything. And even if it means that I'm the person who knows the least amount, like, I don't want to be the smartest person in the room anymore, because that just means I'm not going to be learning. I want to learn as much as I can. Just say yes to everything.
Yeah, it really is a good thing, and I'm similar in that, and sometimes I've said yes to too many things.
Yeah.
But you never stop learning. Like, you never stop learning, and you learn best too when you're put out of your comfort zone, because you've got to then work a way to get through it. So
yes, you need to find a way to be comfortable again, and in doing so you're learning. Exactly. Yeah. Definitely glad that I'm doing that now.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. And so tell me too, this is the most important question of the whole session. Who do you like, sharing?
Who do I like, share, and follow? Personally, in my personal life, I follow anyone in politics because that's my personal passion. But professionally, follow the people who inspire you, who make content that you want to make content like. Follow your competitors. Follow everyone in the industry that you work in. Follow people that kind of help light that fire in your belly or under your butt, wherever you need that fire lit. Follow those people and pay attention to them. What are they doing? And find out what works, what doesn't work. And really, that's who I like, share, and follow.
And can you say anyone in particular? So anyone who you really love their content?
For a personal point of view, there is a Queensland senator for the Greens. Her name's Larissa Waters. I love all of her content that she posts, and every week I get an update on what happened in the federal government Senate, and who voted for what. And for me, like, that's perfect. That's all. That's what I want to know. That's what I go to social media for, is to keep learning about politics and be engaged in that stuff. So if you're into politics and you're a bit progressive leaning, go follow Larissa. She's great. Yeah, just anyone who really inspires you, I think, is important to follow. Don't follow people who make you feel bad.
Yeah. And that's, I actually heard that someone was saying about, I think it was Breno Brown said that, really you can curate your own social media. You can follow the people that you want to follow and the people who make you feel good, and just pay attention to those. And then being on social media can actually be quite a relaxing, happy experience. So
it is, exactly. I was having a discussion like that today. Someone said to me, like, "Oh, social media is scary for kids." And it's like, you're curating the feed that you want to see. Like, you're not going to have these negative effects. You're not going to get the negative body image. You're not going to get the bad mental illness thoughts. Like, that won't happen if you're creating your feed in a way that's healthy for you and expands your mind and helps you to learn and grow.
yeah, because I mean, you're like that with television. You select what you want to watch. So, approach social media the same way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and so sort of wrap up now. So, do you have any final words for the people watching?
For people watching, I guess just follow your dreams. And if Karen says to do something, she's probably right. And if she invites you to go to India, even though it might terrify you, just do it. You'll jump on a moving train and it will be exhilarating.
Oh, look, well, yeah. I mean, I try and bring people along.
You do
But
great. I think that you do great.
thanks. And so we've had a couple of fans actually write some comments. So Tia Somerville, who has been a former guest on the show,
Yes, she
Tia,
has.
a brand's tone is so important. Great work, Maddie. And
Thank you.
Anne, who was also a USC grad, she said that you're giving great advice, Madeleine. So,
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
so thanks to Tia and Sharon. And so that's it for this week's episode. And next week I will be chatting with Alexandra Fraser, and she is now a PR consultant at a global PR firm in Melbourne. So it'll be a sort of a later show next week around, I think, after 5 p.m. So yeah, so stay tuned, and I'll see you next week. And thanks so much, Maddie. It was so good to talk to you again.
Thank you, Karen. You too.
Thanks. See you, everyone.